Chris King.
I'm Alexander Void.
Today we're having a film rundown. We're going to go down the biggest film topics and news that has come out this week. So let's get right into it. There's several different types of movies we're going to talk about. Let's start with number one, Suicide Squad. We actually have two news topics for Suicide Squad, so we'll do those consecutively, of course. Starting with, as most of you guys have heard already, unfortunately, we're out one member, Rick Flagg.
Yes.
At least the actor is out. Hardy drops out, and which was really funny because I wrote it down earlier in the week, and I was like, okay, so Gylenhaal is rumored to be replacing, and today, just heard, Gylenhaal has rejected the offer.
Declined it, yeah.
So, what's going on, Rick Flagg?
Okay, so I don't even know who could play Rick Flagg now, because Tom Hardy seemed good, and then Jake Gylenhaal, I actually don't know if that's the right one. Well, he could lead something, but for some reason he doesn't have that same leadership thing, especially for something as unorganized as the Suicide Squad.
Right.
Because everybody's so different. Nobody wants to be there. Everybody hates each other. So having Gylenhaal. So having him be a leader for it, I think he's too soft spoken. Like even watching Nightcrawler, yes, he was creepy, but he wasn't like I wouldn't follow him.
Right.
It wasn't leadership. Like I felt like I could just push him over. Prince of Persia, he did bulk up, but still I didn't see him as a leader. So I can't see him leading a team, especially as unorganized. Tom Hardy, he was a badass. Like I would be scared of Tom Hardy.
Yeah. So
it just makes sense. So the only person I could think of throwing in there, and I'm sure he wouldn't want to be Rick Flagg or even be there, will be Christian Bale.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be crazy, actually.
Yeah, I didn't think about that until right now.
I didn't think of that either. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, yeah, I don't know. It'd be really crazy just because to see him have to at some point probably go up against Batman. Like, that's a mind trip. That's just crazy.
Oh, well, Christian Bale versus Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh gosh, someone make a movie on that. I don't know. This is pretty crazy. I just thought of two actors right now that one of them I thought about the other day, but I have two ideas now. But it's pretty unlikely, I think. I will say that as far as Gylenhaal, I'm a big Gylenhaal fan. Mm-hmm. I'm not too much a fan of him being Rick Flagg, but I was okay with it just because I want these actors stapled in already because I want the movie to shoot already because. The more and more, like, you have issues, like, you already know. If you lose a director, if you lose a screenwriter, you lose some of your star actors, the project starts to crumble, and it becomes something very different. So I just wanted to get someone locked down as soon as possible. That's very important, especially for a movie like this that I'm very excited for.
Yeah, me too.
So that's a little bit troublesome, but I'm going to throw out two. First is, I'll say my second choice. My second choice is Ryan Gosling. Particularly because I wanted Ryan Gosling to be in the lineup initially. I wasn't sure as who. I was thinking... I
forgot who was in the running.
It was supposed to be Ryan Gosling, Will Smith, Margot Robbie, and Tom Hardy. Mm-hmm. So it was supposed to be those three. But now we lost Tom Hardy. Oh, I think I was going to have him be like Captain Boomerang or something like that. I'm not really sure. But, I mean, Rick Flagg is open. So I think he'd be badass as... Rick Flagg. If you've seen Only God Forgives, we've seen Place Beyond the Pines. He has that gruffness and that toughness to be someone as far as like Rick Flagg type. I'm not sure if he'd be a leader per se. He's a little bit kind of soft, but I think that you just kind of change him up a bit. You know, give him a beard or something like that. I don't know. Just kind of disguise him. I think he'd be really cool as Rick Flagg.
I'm completely against that.
Ryan Gosling. Okay.
Against.
So this probably will be more for you because this is my number one pick. Clive Owen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, you don't even have to find any evidence. Just go watch, like, Shoot 'Em Up or something.
Yeah,
that's actually one of his bad movies, but I love that movie because, like you said, it's like a really good popcorn movie. That movie is badass.
Killed someone with a carrot.
Yeah, with a carrot and his gun, right? I think he could be, like, the next James Bond. He's kind of getting, past that age already, but, I would love to see him be Rick Flagg. I think he's perfect for Rick Flagg. But, there's a few others there, but those are my two top picks.
I like Clive Owen. I haven't seen him in a movie for a while.
That too, yeah. So I think he'd be a good pick. So I'm going to get on that. Now, let's go into the second Suicide Squad news then, since we're still in Suicide Squad. Now, rumors, according to Latino Review, as we know, they drop a lot of bombs about superhero movies. A lot are wrong. Sometimes they're right on it, though. According to Latino Review, Batman may be in Suicide Squad, particularly in the form of probably like some recordings in the background, or maybe Amanda Waller will probably like talk about Batman in some sort of form, or maybe a phone call. I don't know. But according to forums, there may actually be a scene with Batman and the Joker that will lead into a solo film, like kind of hint towards that 2019 Batman film that we probably suspect. What do you think? What would you prefer?
Okay, so I think that if he does come out, it could only be in the end. Because if he comes out somewhere in the middle, somewhere in the beginning, we're going to be waiting for him to come back again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, people are going to be like, oh, look, we saw a glimpse of Batman. I want to see more Batman. Yeah. So it will either be after credits, post-credits scene. What I really think will happen is... Because I did see Assault on Arkham. There you go. Assault on Arkham, and so we see Joker in there, and he's supposed to be just a cameo. It's just a small part, and then it could lead up to The Dark Knight Returns, which obviously here is Batman v Superman. So it's just, I could see it, but it has to be really small. Obviously they should mention it. It should be mentioned, like when they're walking down the street, they should like look around, right. And they'll be like, "What are you afraid of?" It's like, you don't want to know.
Or in the spotlight or something,
No, see, I think that'll draw too much attention, and that'll lead to the same thing where, like, where's Batman? I want to see Batman pop up. So I think that, like, him not being mentioned,
he will be referenced, right? Mm-hmm. That is, I mean, set in stone. Obviously, you can't have a Suicide Squad without the mention of Batman. So, because the only reason they're going to be locked up in the first place is because Batman, yes. Right? So he will be referenced. He probably will be seen for sure in recordings or a picture or something, even if it's just like a shadow. The question of whether he will be in the scene or not, not sure, but if he is, I agree with you. He will have to be at the end. I like the idea of all the DC movies ending in cliffhangers. Mm-hmm. Very, very dramatic way to end any movie, period. And it's a good answer to Marvel doing the end credit scene. I'm tired of those already at this point because Guardians of the Galaxy was, that end credit scene was so bad. So I'm hoping that they do the cliffhanger thing. And a perfect cliffhanger is all these guys are beaten up or half dead or whatever, and the door opens and you just see like a bat symbol. I don't know, something, whatever you have to do. Let's move on.
Batman was watching the whole time in monitors.
There you go. I like that. Very good one. Okay, Fantastic Four. Are you ready for the trailer?
Of the movie that is titled Fantastic Four, yes. But it's really just Chronicle.
Also known as Chronicle 2. Fantastic Four trailer will debut with Kingsman, Secret Service, or what have you, in February. Mm-hmm. Kingsman, Secret Service is also based on a graphic novel or miniseries of the same name, and it's coming out next month. So the Fantastic Four trailer will be attached with it. I think it will be on the internet probably simultaneously.
Of course,
we talked about this already, right? We don't want to have to go into theaters just to see Kingsman.
Yeah.
But yeah, the trailer.
I think it'd be nice to actually see something that is actually released by them, rather than little clips that we've seen. Well, not clips, but little pictures we've seen from on set and stuff. Yeah. I'm not excited for it. I hope it does well, just because I want to see good movies, but hopes are so low. So low right now.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Agreed, absolutely. Henry Cavill, as we know him as the Man of Steel, he just recently was asked in an interview, how long are you willing to play the role, Superman? And he said, probably one of the greatest answers I've ever heard in my life, says as long as it takes.
Yeah.
He's into the role, he's into the universe, and he acknowledged the fact that, again, like this is what put him in the spotlight, mm-hmm. right? This is what's going to get him movies in the future. It may be the only role that he will be good at or that he'll actually be paid for, but I mean, I don't know. You put yourself in those shoes. Like, what would you say, right?
Yeah, that's true too. It's like, did he say it out of pressure? But there was this point. I forgot what it was, but he mentioned it before. He said, "I'm lucky to be Superman." Yeah. So obviously he likes the role. And I think that's such a cool answer. Like, he's just committed to it. And he has one of those faces where you could tell it will not age.
No.
Like, he's just going to be like...
And even if he does, I mean, the main reason why I like this answer is because Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
That's what it excites me for. I don't think it will happen necessarily, but this secures the fact that it could happen now. Mm-hmm. Now they could start thinking, okay, this guy is willing to play Superman for 10 movies, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Whether it's cameos or 10 solo movies, I think he's the best Superman we've had just hands down.
Also, it states that he obviously likes the upcoming script.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's showing that it's like he could see the future.
Yeah. Yeah, and just and on top of that, just like you mentioned, I mean, he's lucky to play because there's only so many roles in cinema that are iconic, and this breaches film, games. Although he's had terrible games, games, comics, and movies. Mm-hmm. You know, so it breaches every single aspect of media. There's a song, so I mean, it's one of those roles like Bond that you're lucky to be in that kind of role. So I'm excited for his future as Superman. Zombies, particularly World War Z. Mm-hmm. Okay, the sequel we just talked about the other day. I don't know who it was, a screenwriter or something like that worked on the first one, who mentioned these comments. He said that the sequel will start with a fresh slate. Yeah. You know, so it won't really have to do much with the first World War Z with Brad Pitt. We can assume they probably won't be in the film, which I'm okay with. What do you want to see out of this World War Z sequel?
Yeah, I'm also wondering if Plan B Studios or Plan B Productions is still there, because that's Brad Pitt's little studio production company.
Yeah. So this was what, Warner Brothers? Mm-hmm. World War Z? Yeah. I think it's at least the highest grossing zombie film. Right away.
Yeah, which is very strange because I wasn't very into it. I was excited for it. I wanted to watch it, but when I saw it, I was just like, no. And if I remember, they had a lot of issues. They had a lot of issues making this movie, like so many rewrites and so on.
It took a while to get out too.
Yeah, so it's interesting that it made that much money. I mean, the money that it did. I guess everybody just really wanted it.
I mean, yeah. I'm assuming it was Brad Pitt, right? It was that name attached to it.
Yeah, and then from there, a sequel, I don't care for it. I don't. I think after Walking Dead, seeing that everywhere, I think I'm already done with zombies, at least for a while. Give it a break. This is just like telling me that there's gonna be warm bodies too. Like,
holy God, I hope not. That's crazy.
I'm not. I don't care.
Yeah, I'd say I'd have to agree. You know what? I think my like hesitation there is just 'cause I'm kind of desperate for a good zombie movie. You know,
just desperate for good stuff.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, probably ever since like I Am Legend, it was probably the last one, and they're not any zombies, but I don't know, like it's about something good, but yeah, World War Z was okay. I saw it in theaters. Didn't care too much about Brad Pitt's performance. I think that he's replaceable. You could do that with any single actor. But it'd be interesting to see what they can do with that script. I guess, you know, we'll probably end up seeing it eventually. Now, yeah, I'm having trouble picking which topic to do next, just because there's some pretty big ones. But let's do this one. Resident Evil will commence filming in August, according to Mia Djokovic, who just announced on our Facebook. Now, we don't really talk about Resident Evil a lot this series, but I want to talk about again the fact that we have some big video game movies coming up. Okay, and this one is going to be again the kind of starting that pack of the next wave of video game movies, because Resident Evil has been dormant for, I don't know, what has it been, like 3 years?
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah. I've never liked Resident Evil. What do you think about the movies? Not the games, the movies.
Yes, the movies.
Yeah. Well, even the last games weren't really good either, but
I was stuck at 4.
Yeah.
I thought Resident Evil 4 was the last good one. Okay, so Resident Evil was the first and last movie, hopefully last movie, that I ever walked out of in theaters. It's the first movie that I just like, I am not going to take 2 hours of this.
Right.
So I stood up and I left. So that was the first movie. That's how much, that's what it means. This is how much I have to convey how unhappy I am with this. And yeah, so it was the first movie I ever walked out of. And it wasn't the first one. The first one was fine. I think it was like the fourth one or third one. I don't remember which one it was, but it was just like, this is bad.
Yeah.
This is really bad. I remember I rewatched, I think, the second one, and I was just like, did that just really happen? Did she just ride a motorcycle into a pillar and the pillar fell? Okay, what is going on here? This is just a mess. I have to really draw my brain. This on par with Michael Bay films.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, I understand that a lot of you people may like Michael Bay, but for me, I like to hate. So, that's it. I don't care for this. She should have just said, you know what? I'm done. I'm having my kid. I'm going to focus on something real.
Yeah, it was really weird to me. Hopefully we don't get too much slack for this, but it was just weird to me that she was like, yeah, I'm going to be doing this movie simultaneously while also like caring for my infant or something. I was like, well, I understand, which is, you know, all credits to mothers do, but Resident Evil is a crappy film series. So you might as well do it in your sleep, you know? I would say you might as well not do it. Like, why are you coming? If you have kids, be happy with your kids, and you know, take the money you got from this series and just stay with them for the next 2 years. Don't put out this other film. It's not going to be good. We already know that. So, sorry, it's just one of those films like Michael Bay's Transformers that I have a hard time wrapping my head around how you take such good material and make a bad movie out of it. There's literally no way. You might as well have taken the first game shot for shot, or Resident Evil 4 shot for shot, and made that a movie.
And there's so much. There's so much.
You could have done that with a budget of like $10 million, and there's just no way you can mess it up. So, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy that they pulled a Transformer. Well, I guess Transformers pulled a Resident Evil with this kind of franchise. So.
And it's strange because if I remember, I'm really bad with these kinds of things, but if I remember, she is with a director.
Yes.
Yeah, so they have to take their baby on set, or they have to.
Paul S. Anderson. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, which is crazy because he makes really good films, except Resident Evil's not good, but
I can't think of one, so I can't really say.
He did Inherent Vice just recently, and I think he did There Will Be Blood as well.
I think you're thinking of a different one.
A different Paul? Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Because I think one of them was like missing a name.
Oh, okay, that's probably why. Yeah, that's probably why. I don't know. Crazy stuff. But okay, moving on from Resident Evil. Although I will say again, it's just, are we gonna see a good video game movie?
Hitman.
Paul West and Paul Thomas has, right? That's Here we go. Yeah. So game movies, we have. You're right. Resident Evil, Hitman. I think then it's Warcraft, and then Assassin's Creed, and it's supposedly Uncharted. But that's
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I think they had Marky Mark last time.
No, I hope not. But yeah, he was attached to it.
Yeah. So. For Uncharted, I think they're making a petition for Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, I suppose. I think he'd be good as Sully. He's still good for Drake at this point. But I don't know. It's crazy. I will say that out of all these game movies, I'm not excited for any of them.
Yeah. Even though I did like Hitman, you talked about a sequel. I think you talked about a sequel.
Yeah, the sequel. I mean, that's probably the best one, right? It was that first Hitman. That's why I'm kind of excited for this next one. That's Zachary Quinto.
Okay, so this next one is I don't know. I just know it's called Agent 47. If I remember, is it supposed to be a sequel? I don't even know.
I don't know. I think it's like a reboot.
Okay,
but I don't know. We'll see what happens with these games.
Just hope.
This is actually one of the brighter kind of news stories we have today. Simon Pegg just got revealed he will be co-writing Star Trek 3.
Yeah.
What are your initial thoughts? I mean, we know Star Trek 3 is right now without a director, I believe. So they're struggling. But apparently they've signed on Simon Pegg to co-write.
Yeah. I like Simon Pegg. I like everything he co-wrote.
Yeah.
Because if I remember, he actually did help Edgar Wright write a bunch of that.
Yeah, with all the whole trilogy. Yeah, he did all of them.
Yeah, so I'm for this. I think it'll be fun. It'll be cool. He's a cool character in it. So it's just, I don't know. I need a little more comedy in it.
Yeah, I'm less excited for Star Trek 3, the movie.
Of course.
But I will say that one of the highlights of Star Trek and Into Darkness was his character, Scotty. Mm-hmm. He played it perfectly, and he was the comic relief in those movies. And I will follow him whatever he does. He's a genius, comic genius. I'm into that. So the final topic, arguably one of the bigger ones, Amazon Film Studios.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you sent me this link a little while back, and it kind of blew my mind. That, as you mentioned, right? Amazon, they're trying to get their feet wet with every single thing. We know they have a game studio working on really crappy mobile games. We know that they have their own like Roku box kind of stuff. They have their tablets, their whatever. Do they have a phone yet?
Yes. The Amazon, the Kindle Fire. I passed by a store yesterday at the mall, and like I looked inside, and I saw it's like the Kindle Fire phone. Yeah,
if they don't have a phone yet, they will probably. We can assume.
No, it's a Kindle Fire phone.
Oh, it's a phone? Okay.
Yeah, it's not the tablet anymore.
I don't know. It's crazy.
So, I looked in, but I didn't go inside because that's how much I care.
Yeah. I mean, so Amazon Film Studios. I mean, I will say I like the kind of press release because it was very simple. It was, we're going to produce movies the old-fashioned way. You bring us a script, and we'll decide if we can produce it for whatever budget. That's how movies began to get made.
Yeah.
It wasn't these big long-term kind of plans that they are now. So I kind of like that aspect of it, but I'm assuming we'll probably get a lot of mid kind of budget movies from them. But I don't know. Do you think we'll get anything good?
Just hopefully they don't make another Sharknado. Like, they don't focus on that. Like, that would be their target thing.
Yeah.
It's like, let's revive Toxic Avenger. Or some weird stuff like that. Piranhas.
Yeah.
So I think, I just hope, because, again, I just want there to be good content.
Yeah.
Like, when Marvel Studios became Marvel Studios, I didn't know what to think. But then, look at what happened. So, all I can do is hope. Amazon has money. They've been obviously making money. So, here's another thing that I don't think you know about. Overstock.com, if people even use Overstock, that's the competitor for Amazon. Overstock.com also stated they're going to make their own movies. They're going to start producing. So there's something going on.
Yeah, that's weird. I know that. I'm gonna assume that they're following Netflix's lead because they saw Netflix doesn't sell items, right? But they saw the fact that one kind of company can jump ahead, and they're trying to kind of break that industry, right? The theater chain industry. So, and Amazon has Amazon Prime.
Yes.
So they already released video content.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna call right now is they're just gonna produce movies that's gonna come there for Amazon Prime members. So
I like it.
Sure, I mean they have the right to do so. I don't think we're gonna get anything really good, but actually their television show right now, I forget what it's called, but they have a television show right now that just won like every single Emmy.
Wow.
So I mean I think we'll get kind of like mid-budget indie kind of stuff. But I mean if you're an Amazon Prime member, or if you're not, maybe now's a good time to do so. That's what you're into.
Yep.
But alright, so for everything, all these other upcoming film news, comic book, indie stuff, whatever, all that kind of stuff, you're in the right place. Goodbye, Dudley.